Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. We have got an amazing guest, Dustin. I was on his show, and we just crushed it. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to be talking about how to level up and grow your business while other people are fearful. And there's no other better person besides the Johnson face who's back on his yacht, floating around the Caribbean, probably getting a sunburn, drinking martinis. We got the evil bald ninja, the Gene Volpe, the legend, the myth, the man, riding hard in the co-partner seat right now. So, Gene, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you today?
Listen, I'm here with you. I mean, I don't know if there's a better way to spend your Friday afternoon. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll take that. But the way you came in on that super hard, I'm like, well,
that was flattering, Gene. That was a flowery introduction there.
All right, listen, it's great to be here with both of you today. I can't wait for what's about to come down the pike. How do you like that?
Okay, now you're selling me on it. So, Dustin, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
We had such a good time. You're a return guest on the show, and I was on your show a little while back. We had an absolute blast, but we're going to really tackle some really cool stuff today. We're going to be talking about how to really thrive, how to kick ass and take names in today's marketplace when a lot of people are running for the hills. Well, we're actually doing that here because in Northern California, we literally are burning to the ground right now, and we have fires. I can literally see the smoke in the trees. It's not a joke here in Northern California. So, I mean, when people are running for the hills, Justin, I want to dive deep. I want to go hard with you really right out of the gate and just kind of talk about what are you seeing on your podcast? What are you seeing with the people you're coaching with? How can people really start thriving and just crushing skulls and getting business in today's weird fucking market?
It all comes down to being willing to make a change if necessary, or being willing to just step out and do something. Not anything, but anyone who's been watching your show more than once knows that you've got to be out there, discoverable, findable. You have to be visible on the internet. That could be having a YouTube channel. That could be doing Instagram stories, or just posting incessantly on Facebook, or doing interview shows on Twitter, or whatever the hell. Any of that works. All of that works. Any combination of that works. But are you going to do it? And there's so many agents that I personally coach or that are part of my team that I've seen absolutely just dominate over the last few months, while so many other agents are like, well, COVID, it's hard. I don't want to say something because, I might offend somebody, and they're you're going to be bold or you're not. Okay. Right. And you're going to just step out there and do it, or you're not. And the people that do it, regardless what the hell it is, they seem to be doing just fine. They're gaining market share. They're growing their business. Many of them are having the best year of their careers in spite of COVID. And I know that markets are hot. I know that market conditions factor into that, obviously. But guess what? Even in the hottest markets, not everyone sells 10 homes a month. You know, so there's certain things that people are doing that are just working, and some of them are changing brokerages or getting rid of a team that they don't need or like, or that's just weighing them down mentally with negative energy, or they're moving offices or whatever. Do that stuff. Just do that stuff.
Take action is basically what you're saying, and I completely agree with you. I mean, it was 2 days ago I went and we had a former guest on our show, and he has a VA company, and I went and I interviewed a VA and I hired a VA, and I'm going to be doing, I'm going to give you the abbreviated list of the stuff that I'm going to have my VA do. And like we were talking about, it's like there's an opportunity here to take advantage. And so I'm going to have them go into my database and update all the information, contact everybody, and set up, coffee meetings or lunch meetings. I'm going to go in and, get the anniversaries, sale dates, birthdays, kids' school graduations, and other holidays, follow up with all of my leads, send postcards, through send out cards to all my leads that I'm using through Likely and through Clever Leads. I'm going to be having them get me booked on more podcasts. I'm going to be, having my VAs go out and, set up meetings with local business owners, do Zoom calls with them to do promotional stuff. I mean, get more people onto my YouTube channel, my team's YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, the whole, and that's just a small list of stuff they're going to be doing. But basically, they're going to be able to turn me into the Coca-Cola of real estate in the Bay Area. And a lot of people are afraid to do that because we're in a cancel culture, and we're afraid that if we say one wrong thing or if we do something bad, then people are not going to want to do business with us. But we can't go out there with a mindset of being defeated right out of the gate. We got to go there, like you were saying, and you have to be something powerful. You have to be something good. You have to be something of light and joy in our environment. And if you do it with that mindset, no matter what you say, no one can defeat you, because no one can come to you and say, you know what, Dustin, I just want to call and let you know I think you're an incredible human being, and I hope you have a great day. And I was just wondering if you wanted to come out and have coffee with me someday. Who the fuck is going to say you're an asshole when you do that? Right.
There's so much fear still. And guys, it's August. It's almost September. It's not March. In March, there was a lot of uncertain shit. And there still is. Don't get me wrong. There still is. But like, we've gotten our feet under us, and we've had it for months. So I just, I don't know. I guess I'm losing patience with those that are like, I don't know what to do. And they're so worried that, February and March was a different world than it is now. Like, just everyone was so hypersensitive about everything. And in some ways, justifiably so. But now it's not justifiable. It's really not. So if you're out there, like I used to, look, COVID has been a great thing for my business. And I used to say, man, I almost feel bad about that. Screw that. I don't feel bad about that. I made decisions. I put myself in certain positions because of decisions I made and actions that I took that, if it wasn't COVID, like the economy was going to go virtual anyways. Everything was going to, like, COVID just sped up trends that were already happening in business. I put myself in a position to be ahead of those. It just happened a hell of a lot faster and a hell of a lot quicker than I thought. Awesome. Like, I don't feel bad about that anymore. I made good decisions.
So let's talk about how would someone, as a normal agent, a new agent, just a struggling agent? I mean, we've talked a little bit about the mindset, and Gene, I want you to weigh in regards to some of the marketing stuff. But I want you to, Dustin, I want to talk to you about, like, how would someone go out there and start growing their business in today's market? You said content. Break that down and kind of what you think about that. And then Gene, I want you to weigh in regards to the content and kind of your side on that. And I want to just give people an idea, like a blueprint of where to start.
Yeah. Everyone's blueprint's going to be different. So, there's no one size fits all. But here's where you need to decide what your blueprint looks like. All that matters is that you are visible online. You need to be seen. When people are scrolling their news feeds, they need to see you. They need to hear about you. They need to be reminded that you exist. That can happen in so many different ways. Instagram stories, posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, using any live video, as long as you're not going live every Saturday and every Sunday to say that you're at an open house from 11 to 1. Please stop by. People will tune you out instantly, as they should, because that's boring as hell.
Yes.
But live video, if you have something interesting to say it. And I get asked all the time, well, how long should a video be? I don't know. Like, I've listened to a 4-hour-long Joe Rogan podcast, and I've also turned off a podcast episode after 20 seconds. It's all can you say what needs to be said in however long that takes? Just say it. Right. So video, posting, write stuff, just whatever you want. What interests you? Okay. What interests you? Talk about the community. I think this is what really works for most people. Rather than talking about real estate all the goddamn time, talk about what's happening in the community, what new things are being built, what new businesses are coming to town, what, that building over there that's being built, what is it? What's going to be there? Like, highlight that. I'm always curious. Whenever I see a crane, I'm like, ooh, what's that? Like, I wonder what that is. Is that going to be cool? Because I like to know what's going on in my neighborhood and in my town and in my city. So I always look that stuff up, and it's so hard to find what that stuff is going to be. So why don't you just be the resource in your community? But if that bores you, then talk about whatever the hell interests you. One of my good friends, Sean Mitchell in Denver, he's an agent in Denver. He loves Tesla and everything about Tesla cars. And he just started a YouTube channel a while ago. All he talks about is electric vehicles and Tesla. and he loves every minute of it. And his business has absolutely thrived, or it's been thriving, because he attracts other Tesla owners who find out he's a realtor, and then guess what? They hire him.
Yeah.
He told me he got three buyers reaching out yesterday alone because of his Tesla videos.
Really? It's fascinating. You know, it's just niching down. Riches are in niches. And it like he's a big Tesla guy, right? I like beer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Those two things don't go together, by the way.
No, those are independent. 100% independent. So Gene, okay, so let's talk about niching down and how people can really go out there and, you know, Dustin, what you're saying is like find your tribe, talk about your tribe, don't be ashamed of your tribe, and just go after it. So Gene, we have our Tesla crew. How do we market to them effectively? If you're a newer agent, if you're just going live, how can you get a bigger footprint?
Can we skip the Tesla crew? Because it sounds like somebody's already got that covered. Why don't we have our beer crew?
Okay, let's do beer crews.
Easy, right? Because I like beer too, by the way.
I know you do.
Say that, right? So listen, Dustin laid it all out. I mean, if you go back and play that 2-minute thing he just talked about, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of content in two of the things that he said. Like we were talking last night, Greg. We went live for a little bit last night, right? And we were talking about a bunch of different things, including, first of all, get out of your comfort zone, number one. Number two, I think I said it pretty clearly. If you're a real estate agent, the last thing I want to hear you talking about is real estate. I need you to be the expert in the area I'm thinking about moving in when I need to move there. And there's a pretty good chance that 99.8% of the people that are following you don't need your service right now, right? Like I've been preaching this for 15 years. And then people will still go out and say, well, I did a video, and I go watch the video, and it's like, interest rates are at an all-time low. Are you good? Right? I don't care.
The best time to buy a house.
It is, right? It is. And honestly, I'll take you through my psychology. If my wife came down here into my office and said, I have to move. We got to move, right? That initiates a response in me like, I have to now go get a real estate agent to help me through that process. Who's the first real estate agent I'm going to think about? Well, you know what? I watched that video that Dustin did on the local area eats, and he talked about this great sushi place, and I love sushi, right? And he must know the area pretty well. Maybe we should reach out to him first, because it's that whole have to be in your feed. I got to be there. And like it's this old thing, right? So let me just pick something out. Actually, Greg, I want to talk to you about this off air. I have a deal. I do. I have a real estate deal that came across my desk today that it's a flip for profit. And a real estate agent who's a good friend of mine called me with it. I can't say too much about it, but there is a list of things in it that I need to tackle. And one of them is finding a money partner, right? So these guys do this to make money. I rattled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that I thought about immediately when this thing happened. And it's because I've seen 9 of those either in my real life recently or in my feed recently, right? Like think about that when people call you and go, do you have anybody, you guys had your basement done 6 years ago. Do you have anybody that can help us? And you're like, oh, let me go through do you ever do this? You go look through your contacts and like, you just go like, I can't think of anybody off the top, but I know there's 8 of them in here. Well, how about that guy that did my basement 6 years ago is in my face with the mailers and these how-to videos on replacing spindles on your staircase and all. And I see this guy every day, and I like his style, and I like his smile, and I like his MO, and I like the way he speaks. That's the guy I'm thinking about, and that's the guy I'm going to give as a referral, right? Because he's there. Yep. So I just invite everybody to go back right before I went on this stupid, long-winded thing and listen to what Dustin said just in that 2-minute segment, and then figure out a way to create that content and get out of your comfort zone and put it in the place where you think you're going to get the most views. That's all.
Yep. And Gene, in your example, it's not even like the views are important, obviously, but that's an incomplete metric. If you're seeing Johnny the handyman, posting content all the time, and it's a video about replacing your spindles or unclogging a toilet and all this stuff, you may not ever watch the video, but you're seeing it. Yep. And you see it come through your feed, and you're reminded, oh, yeah, Johnny the handyman. So even though you may not get a view, doesn't mean that you didn't get an impression of somebody who will hire you or refer you to somebody else, because if you don't get their attention first, or if they don't remember that you exist, nothing else matters. You're going to be able to prove that you're a great agent later on.
Yep.
Naturally. You don't need to do it the first time they see you in a video.
Or the 500th. Like,
right.
If you're, and I was talking to somebody yesterday about this. New clients coming on. He's a nurse. Okay. And he's a nurse.
Gaylord?
No. What'd you say?
Gaylord?
No, not Gaylord Fucker. No. It's actually one of the best. We were talking.
First thing that I think of when I think of a nurse. I don't know why.
Actually hilarious. Wait a minute.
Mindshare. Gaylord Fokker, the nurse.
Do you remember that? Your name is Gay Fokker? Yeah, right. So well, we're probably offending people, right? These are from movies, just so they know.
Yeah.
This is Real Estate Uncensored, though.
Meet the Fockers, guys. Go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. If you don't like it, fuck off. I mean, this is funny shit.
So wait. So he says to me, how do I people come up to me all the time, and I'm a trusted resource because they like me, right? Like, it's not, I'm patting myself on the back, but people like me, and they know inside the ERs and inside the hospitals that I am a real estate agent. How do I marry those two? And I said, well, let's talk about a bunch of different ideas. Like, number one, do you have any advice for parents that are sending their kids back to school during this time? Mm-hmm. And he's like, probably. And I'm like, do you have any health advice on how to stay healthy moving forward and how to keep your loved ones healthy? He's like, yeah, I can come up with some stuff. I'm like, do you have a resource where you could pull a doctor in that's seeing some stuff that's going on, that has an optimistic view of where we're going and where treatment's headed, and that people would actually okay. And he's like, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? I'm like, look, people want to see that. They want to see positivity. They want to see good information. They need good info. And if your Keller Williams or EXP logo or whatever is down in the bottom right-hand corner, we're doing what you just said, what I like to call subconscious branding. You may not actively look at that and go, oh, this guy might be a real estate, but in the back of your mind, you know that this nurse is in real estate, right? So it's all about providing good information, being like, there's another part of this too. You have to be a little bit watchable, right? That's probably the wrong word. Like in the beginning of this thing, I kind of did it for fun, but if you're the kind of guy that talks like this and has terrible camera presence, don't do videos. Get somebody else. Get your kid to do it. Like,
write a blog instead.
Yeah, go write a blog. Absolutely. And that's not everybody's made for video. I get that, right? But get out of your comfort zone and do something that makes you go, oh, that didn't feel so good. Nothing off color, right? No politics, no religion, but something a little off color, and watch what the reactions are. Because, Greg, you've heard me talk about this before. The unintended consequences of video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
So Dustin alluded to it a little while ago, but I always go back to a video that I did a couple years back. I was in my car driving. It was on the anniversary of my father's death, right? It was on the date, and I want to say it was the 26th anniversary of him dying. My math might be off. But the video was titled, because I was playing around with some stuff, right? And I made it clickbait. And the video was titled, Why I'm Glad My Dad Died 26 years ago. Huh. And people that know me were like, what is this dude losing his mind? Like, why is he happy? So when you watch the video, it's basically a 4-minute video of me talking about how I was lucky that it was 26 years ago and not 36 years ago, because I had more time with him on earth than everybody else in my family did. I'm the oldest of 6. He was 20 when I died. My brother was 5. Like, it could always be worse, right? So I spun that, and there was gratitude behind it. I got 15 private messages, no less than 15 private messages. You know what they all said?
What?
You have daughters. Will you please put your seatbelt on? Now, right? How stupid is that? But here's what happened. I put a video out of something that was important to me. I started talking to people that I haven't seen since high school and 25 years ago, and that I haven't had conversations with in probably 22 years, that came out of the woodwork. And that gave me the opportunity to go, Dustin, I appreciate that, dude. You know what? That was bad. That was a bad choice on my part. I was just flying that day. I didn't put my seatbelt on. Awful parenting. There was nobody in the car. I get it. And I will do it. But in the meantime, it's been a long time, dude. Let's catch up for a brew. Right? Like, how easy of a segue is that? So the unintended consequence of that video was that I got to talk to a bunch of people about something out of left field. Right? And what happened? They remembered me. We had a little bit of banner. One or two of them might have actually called for services. I don't remember if there were any leads out of that, but it's just one of these things where you offer yourself up thinking there's going to be an outcome, and it ends up being a completely different outcome that hopefully is a good one and surprises you.
Well, I mean, Dustin, you're seeing this with a lot of the interviews you're doing on your show and stuff like that. I mean, the unintended, consequences is, on every action is a reaction. And so, like, once you take action, something's going to happen on the other side. So why not make it a positive thing? Why not, like Gene did, why not spin it? So, Dustin, walk me through something that you would do on a consistent basis if you were a brand new agent to get that visibility to talk about something or do something. Where would you go? I know you did video and everything else, but go deeper on that a little bit with me, like Gene just did.
Sure. So find, like, what's your hobby? Okay, you can absolutely tie your hobby to your profession.
Yep.
So what's your hobby? What do you like talking about? What are you passionate about? What really interests you that you could see yourself talking about or digging into and researching, like, for years? Whatever that is, cool. Let's figure out, like, what's going on locally with that. Let's say it's collecting Pez dispensers, for God's sake.
Oh, I love those.
Me too. I used to have like 500 of them until my wife made me sell them because they took up a whole room. Good
Seriously?
Call on her part. Yeah. Yeah. I started collecting them in junior high, and then, like, I'm so glad I don't anymore, because, like, now that I could afford to, like, buy some shit, I'd buy a lot of shit. Anyways, Pez dispensers, right? Like, you may think, well, what are there, 5 people in the city that do that? Well, there's probably more than 5, but maybe there's 50, okay, in the whole city. Well, guess what? If you just become become the leader of this community and the one that created this little community, those people are going to buy and sell with you. But it's not about just those 50 people. Okay, maybe it's only 20 people. Those 20 people know other people. Mm-hmm. And so if you create a relationship because you're writing a blog or you're doing a video or you're just, like, showing off your collection in your Instagram stories or whatever, they're going to get to know you as the Pez guy who also sells homes, and you're likable. You seem like you have your shit together. Well, then their cousin Susie and their family needs to sell their house. Well, guess who the Pez collector guy is going to refer? You're going to refer you to cousin Susie. It's that easy, but it starts with finding something that you really are interested in, tying it to the community somehow, and then just getting it out there with whatever medium makes sense to you. If that's a podcast, if you don't want to be on camera, cool. Do a podcast or write a blog. If you don't feel like you can talk, write a blog.
One of the things that I'm going to start doing, there's a thing called a task cam, and they're lavalier microphones that you can, take, and there's one that you can connect actually to the bottom of microphones. And I'm going to, I'm thinking about it a lot. And this is something, if you guys want to kind of entertain this, I'm going to think about going out and I'm going to go knock on, like, literally like local businesses and be like, hey, I want to go live with you on my Facebook page. I want to highlight you. I'll stay my distance. We'll wear the masks, but I want people to know that you're in business, what you do, how you're doing it, and go and highlight, 5 people a week. Just it's literally just knocking on someone's front door and going like, can I help you? Can I bring value to you? Just ask questions. And it's just something that's very, very simple. And I think that, like you're saying, and we've had multiple people on the show talk about this, if you can become Tom Cruise famous to 50 people, 50, not 500, not 5,000, not 5 million, 50 people, you will see a 7-figure income because you brought value to their lives and you're relevant to their lives. And then their network becomes relevant to you because they go like, hey, Gene, if you don't list with Dustin, fucking defriend me, lose my phone number, and fuck off, because this is the guy that you've got to work with. That's the type of loyalty that you can build by doing what these two gentlemen are talking about. I recently, my good friend Coach Monica, she has a program called Ghost Poster. Take away the E at the end, it's just an R.com, and it's $199 a year. That's a year, not a month. And what it does is every single day, it sends you a something funny or interesting to post on your Instagram and Facebook. I was very interested to try this and to kind of start going with it. I'll tell you one thing. I literally immediately saw results from this stuff because it was relatable to people. People found it funny. I got more messages. The engagement was through the roof. And guess what? It has nothing to do with real estate most of the time. It's just weird shit. Like I posted a picture of a moving truck that crashed into the front of a house, which I don't know how this moving truck got in this position. If you guys go follow me on Instagram and go check a look at it, it's fucking crazy town. But people love it. Everyone's messaging me, right? That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Or like a picture of a toilet at the top of a stairwell, just sitting there with, you know, with its toilet paper rolls and right at the landing. People just nonstop comments, and people I haven't seen or talked to in months, if not years, are engaging with me on this stuff. And so what Dustin's saying, it works, guys. It freaking works. But you just got to do it. Just do it.
Simple as that. If you're funny, if you have a good sense of humor, why don't you do like the broke agent does for our industry in your town? Like you could just be the satire meme person for your freaking town. Like you would explode on social media, and you could grow your giant business that way. And all the other things that come with being micro famous in your town or in your neighborhood or your subdivision, whatever. Like there's so many things that come along with that. Like celebrity status. You'll get invited to events. You'll get speaking opportunities, you advertising opportunities, sponsorships, affiliate, all the stuff. It's not just about selling homes and earning a commission and getting on that hamster wheel every day. That's fine if that's what you want, but there's so many other ways to diversify your income.
100% agreed. Okay, so we've talked about blogging, we've talked about video. What are some other great ways that people can get out there in today's business and get leads, build their income? You know, stop being the person hiding in the corner. What's another couple ideas you have?
Man, Facebook ads where you're offering a niche list of homes just works. If you want leads, real estate leads. This is real estate related. Like you have to offer a niche list of homes, something very specific, such as homes for sale under 500K on Salt Lake's east side with a 2-car garage and a swimming pool. If it's just homes for sale in Salt Lake City, they can get that anywhere, and they know it. There's no reason for them to click your link.
Right.
But if it's like, wow, that's a very specific, like, first off, I didn't know I could get a home on the east side with a pool for under 500. Holy shit. And I don't know how accurate that is in Salt Lake, but you get the point.
Right.
So if somebody's like, wow, I've got to click this so I can see that list of homes, when they can get it anywhere else, but you just put it all in one place for them. That brings leads in like you would not believe. But that's what I do. So hopefully you have a platform, an IDX home search platform with your website. If you have KV Core, you can do this. You can do it very easily and very well. If you have an Easy Agent Pro website with IDX, iHome Finder, IDX broker enabled websites, you can do this very easily too. You just create a list. It's like creating a saved search, and that's where you send people when they opt in to your Facebook lead ad.
I've actually done it with KV Core, and it is really simple to do it with KV Core. It's a couple of clicks and boom, it's out the door.
Yeah, it spits out the unique URL and you just go put that in your ad. It's amazing.
And people respond to me. And you guys might not actually think that works, but it works so well that I actually stopped doing it, which is something I say so many times on this show, and I gotta stop saying that. It works so well, I stopped doing it. Gene, what are some of the other ideas besides video, IDX, and blogging? What are some other ideas that you may have running through your brain over there, since you are the evil bald ninja?
Well, I feel like, me, there's 3 steps to this process, right? It's going to be video, always at the top, because you can make it visual. You can make it audio, like only, and you could turn it into a written, right? So you have all 3. Audio, you can make it audio, and you can turn it into written. Written is written. I mean, you got to write it, right? And then you could turn the written into other things too. But my thing is audio. Why not start a podcast? The Best of Westchester podcast. Like if you're afraid to be on camera, create a podcast, take some clips. You can create artwork around each episode. Everybody's seen it done. It gives you content to push. You take that podcast and put it on Alexa Skills. There's so many ways to do it. It's incredible. You got to get to a point where you're comfortable. And I think we keep going back to the same thing, which is offer great information about your local neighborhood. And if people follow, you remember this in the beginning, Greg, we talked about this. I come from a background of IT, and then I decided I was going to do videos and photos. And then I decided I was going to get into marketing.
Right.
So in the beginning of this, I was the marketing expert And the only reason why that was the case is because I kept telling people that. Nobody ever asked me for qualifications. Nobody ever said, but wait, you used to be in IT. How come you're a marketing expert now? If you keep telling people I'm the Westchester expert. I'm the Westchester expert. Check out this new restaurant. I just found out about this pipeline they're putting in. 2 schools closed. Taxes are going up. New restaurant, new brewery. Like, if you're the guy giving that information, you're going to become the expert in that area, and people are going to call you, because what's better than a real estate agent that is an expert in the area that you're looking to move to?
Nothing.
That's the key thing, right? Somebody who has a little bit of charisma, some charm, can talk, some negotiation tactics, but knowing the area is probably one of the top 5 most important things about being a real estate agent. And all you're doing is feeding these people through your videos, your interviews, your audios, your blogs, your posting, your memes, whatever. You're letting everybody know, I've got that box checked off. I'm the expert in this area.
One of the things that I've been doing lately, and this is someone that I've been working with, his name is Jake Wolf. He has a company called Clever Leads with a K. And we've been doing mass text messaging blasts out to expires, for sale by owners, for rent by owners, and a myriad of other folks. And I was skeptical when I first started doing it, but it is legitimately one of the best ways to be gaining leads, because people, instead of outbound reaches, it's like you push out and then they come back. It's a phenomenal scenario that takes place. And the way that we write, because we do custom video landing pages, drip campaigns, follow-ups, the whole thing, but it's all based around kindness, love, and just service. And people respond in such a way in return. And so for me, it just popped in my brain when I was talking to you guys. I'm like, why have I not brought up the text messaging and geofencing and the emails and everything else that we're doing? Because the geofencing that we're doing as well, and if you guys want to talk to Jake about it, go for it. It's awesome. I went to 1,400 homes, dropped a geofence. A geofence is just like an electronic fence you put around a certain locations against geo, and then we push advertisements to them for $2 a month, and it was insane. Over 811 of the 1,400 people came back to my landing page and hit it. Then we pixeled them. Then we redirected an ad on Facebook, which I know, Dustin, you're a big fan of, as Facebook ads. And it's just you become hyper relevant, like we're all saying, like, just be visible in front of folks. And I've found them to be phenomenal. And I never thought geofencing would be something, or I never thought text messaging would work. It works, and it's ridiculously simple. But you guys, we got to stop thinking about not being offensive. Go out there with service, love, kindness, gratitude, and watch what comes back. And Justin, that's something that you preach a lot as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. And speaking of text messaging, and so many agents are afraid to do this for, they don't want to be too aggressive, or they don't want to be whatever. Something you can do is go back into your database of old leads that have fallen off drip campaigns or whatever, and they're just sitting there. And let's be honest, there's a lot of agents that have people that have fallen off drip campaigns after 2 weeks. So first off, plug that hole. But if you haven't, there's all these leads that are just sitting there. And at one point they raised their hand, because you have their information, like you didn't go out and get it. They gave you their information somehow through a lead form, and said, hey, I'm interested in selling my house or in buying my house or something. So when you reach out to them again, you're serving them. You're doing what you should have been doing all along. And you're seeing if there's anything they need. So go to all your old leads, highlight all of them in your CRM, send a mass text. Hopefully you have them tagged as buyers or sellers, and you say, are you still looking for a home to buy? Or, did you ever buy a place? Did you ever find a house? You can say it however you want, but do it short. Or, hey, did you ever sell your house? And just send that text, and you would be surprised how many responses you'll get. Some will say, yep, sold it. But some will be like, no, I'm still looking. You only need a few of them to respond.
Yeah.
You only need a few of them. So go send that text. And remember, they opted in at some point in the past. You're now just finally making good on following up with them. That's all that text is. They can unsubscribe if they want. They can ignore you if they want. They could reply some nasty response if they want. And you're going to get all of that. But so what?
You will. But what I've done with Jake is, we're doing some texting, and the responses, I have gotten 0 F-offs. I mean, in some of our campaigns.
You must not be doing it right then.
Oh no, I'm getting leads too. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's beautiful. Yeah. You know what's funny? Whenever I get someone, they say their name is like Poopy McPoopface or Mickey Mouse or Dickhead or something, I'll respond and just like, that's their name. Like, hey, Mr. Fuckface, like, are you still looking to sell your house? And so many times they'll think it's funny and they'll actually respond and be like, hey, respect. Like, that's, you actually have a sense of humor. And I've gotten clients that way. And I know other agents who have, just because you have a little bit of a sense of humor and you don't let it ruin your day and you don't get all bent out of shape and offended. You just you roll with it. Like they say their name is Dick Face. Excuse me. Hey, Mr. Face, like you want a list of open houses?
Hey, Mr. Face.
Just don't take yourself so seriously, because these people are just messing around. Remember, when we go to a store, you walk into a store and someone's like, hey, is there anything I can help you with? What do we all do? 100% of the time. Just looking. Mm-hmm. I'm good. Well, we're going to have a question, 90 seconds later, but that's on our time, right? That's what people do when they're filling out lead forms. They just want the damn information. And many of them will just give you bogus information, even though they want it. Then by responding to them with their bogus info, you're actually opening up the door for a conversation and a relationship.
Yeah. And I agree with you. And I find it hilarious when people respond back to me, with nasty stuff. I literally get a giggle out of it. I'm like, hee, that was funny. Like I had one guy goes, oh, fuck you. I guess you like small dicks. And I just replied back, how did you know my preference? Can I help you? And it killed the conversation. But you know what? I found it hilarious because you know what? They thought it was funny, so I thought it was funny, and we just started communicating. So what we're really talking about here is we're going to be out there and being visible to every level human on God's green earth. So Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, IG Live, IGTV, Facebook Live. We're also going to be sending postcards. We're going to be sending out, different messages. We're going to be cutting up stuff like Gene can do on the back end and cut it up and then be posting on LinkedIn. Just tell people what the blank you do for a job. And this is the part that why I use Ghost Poster is because I've been getting the question more and more, and I was totally confused by it. And they're like, I see you do all this video stuff and this podcasting and this coaching and training and blah, blah, blah. Are you still doing real estate? I'm like, yes. Gosh dang it, I'm still doing freaking real estate. And guess why they asked me that? Because I fell in the same hole that all of you guys may fall in or might be in right now of not being visible and not telling the people what you do, why you do it, and that you're still active. Everybody needs someone to go to. So go ahead. That's what I'm going. Dustin, let's do this. Let's start wrapping this thing up. Tell people a little bit about you, what your show is about, kind of like kind of where they can find you and all that stuff.
Sure. Massive Agent Podcast is the name of my show, and I started it in January 2018 just to help give more ideas to agents to get leads and to sell more homes. Some of the stuff we talked about today, but in a podcast you can really dive deeper on each one. But over the last year, maybe especially 6 months, I've really transitioned more into like telling stories, bringing people on who have just done really cool shit and used their real estate career as a stepping stone to bigger things. Sure. And or people that have just done cool, unique business models as a realtor, because our industry is so incredible. You can do so many things. You can do anything you want. But so many agents, either they don't think that they can, or they don't feel like they have permission to, or they just don't know what other options are out there. And so they're stuck in their cubicle. Like, you must make cold calls 3 hours a day, every day. And, we have a 50-50 split with the team. And they think that that's life. Like, that's just the industry. Well, it's not. If you want it to be, it is. But it doesn't have to be. Like, there's other brokerages, there's other team leaders you could join, there's other like, you could invent a freaking app that puts the rest of us out of business and you make $1 billion. I don't know. There's so many things you can do, and so I really am trying to show agents how they can build a thriving business and not just sell more homes, because I don't know about you. I don't really want to sell more homes. I want to make a shitload more money in a leveraged way. If selling homes is part of that, cool. But it's not part of it for everybody. Sometimes they just want to run a business or multiple businesses, or, receive residual income each month from an idea they had or something. Well, every bit of that is possible. And there's people that have done it and are doing it. And I like telling those stories and highlighting those stories on my show.
That's awesome. I'm an active listener of your podcast, and I really do enjoy kind of what you put out there. I don't really kind of like it. I do like it. That's why I'm an active listener. But yes, I highly recommend going taking a look at his podcast. It is absolutely fantastic. Gene,
thanks, Greg.
You're welcome, my friend. It's an honest comment. Gene, where can people get a hold of you?
You go to genevolpe.com or just search for Gene Volpe on any of the social media sites. There's I got that widget, right? We talk about that widget all the time on my site. Just wait around for 30 seconds. It pops up. You plug your info in, and I will get the email letting me know that you want to talk.
Okay. Well, that's
pretty easy.
And Dustin, where can people get a hold of you for referrals? Because you are an active agent.
I am an active agent in Salt Lake City. DM me at Massive Agent on Instagram or Facebook. The interweb. That's the nice thing about doing content is you're easily found online. Google my name or at Massive Agent on Instagram or Facebook. Shoot me a DM or massiveagentpodcast.com. You can find out more about the show or just listen to the damn podcast wherever fine podcasts are sold.
And guys, we all know the joke because all podcasts are free. Anyways, guys, we love you to pieces. Thank you for coming out. Gene, I need you to do one thing for me. As my co-host, ride or die partner, I need you to pick a color for the bow today.
Let me do something. Let me see. Color generator on Google. Let's go with black.
You want to do a black? We have not done a black bow in a long. I don't think we've ever done a black bow.
Yeah, right. I don't think so. Not as long as I've been on it. It's kind of the most common one.
Yeah, like black bows, white bows. We've never done like a common color. That's really weird. Okay, there it is, guys. There's your show. Thank you for hanging out. We love you to pieces. We are putting a black bow on this, not because we're depressed, because we love you. And Gene came up with a great color choice. But you guys, I want you to go to all podcast areas. Give us a review. Comment Dustin in this thing if you guys like it. Make sure you go follow his podcast because we want to keep bringing amazing content to all of you. If there is something that in here that you guys resonate with, awesome. We look forward to doing it again. But until next time. Peace out, ninjas. We gone.